Hello, I'm Thomas Lloyd, and this is Top Mexico Real Estate. I've received a lot of questions about what's going on in the real estate market, being at the last quarter of 2021, even how the COVID has affected the industries, not just real estate, but the entire industries down in Mexico. Obviously, the COVID is a very unique and extraordinary situation that has affected not just Mexico, worldwide in various industries. In Mexico, tourism is one of the leading generators of revenue. And when the governments back in 2020, in March and April, they started to restrict all of the travel and especially international travel and tourism. Well, this hit our region, hit Mexico, and especially our region quite drastically. Hotels going from 85-90% occupancy dropped all the way down to maybe 10%, maybe 20% occupancy, and many of those being just national tourists. In February, March, April, this is when the real estate industry, we started seeing that many of the buyers who had already planned and had their tickets purchased to be coming down in the April, May, June, all of them basically were canceled. And with the industries, the hotel industries, everybody was reducing the work. So there was a lot of concern. And even leading developers and leading agencies, there was a good amount of belt tightening, reduction of staff, as everybody was preparing for a long-term situation. Maybe this would continue for 12 months and even 2 years or 3 years. So there was a lot of reduction in that. And we also saw a lot of freeze basically during the summer. Now, a pleasant surprise that we started to witness was there in July, August, September, and the last quarter of 2020, there was actually an increase. First, we started to see an increase in rentals. People were coming down preparing for the winter months, but it was also a different group of people who were coming down to rent. We started witnessing a lot more students who were renting small studios or small condos or 2-bedroom condos. And we also started seeing a surge of employers were allowing them to work remotely. So many of the people were making decisions that instead of having to be locked into my condo or my house back in a cold northern city, why don't I go down to the tropical weather, tropical Caribbean beaches of Mexico, and I can continue working from that location and continue working for my bosses back up in the States or in Canada. So this gave a pleasant surprise to the rental real estate marketplace in the region. Another thing that we began to witness there in the last quarter of 2020 and continues throughout 2021 were the investors. A lot of our capital investors who have a diversified portfolio of properties in different regions, we started to see that many of them were picking up other properties down in our region. They wanted to diversify. These were crazy times. They wanted to put more money into hard assets, into more real estate, into more properties. And second, they were given a lot of confidence, seeing the increase in demand of the rentals. So along with those two, that spurred them to purchase another 2 or 3 properties and dealing, being in a position where they could deal a little bit with some of the developers or some of the sellers in a situation of, worry of what's going to occur in the marketplace. And the third thing that has given a lot of confidence in the purchase is the federal government. There are many places in the northern states, in the northern cities of USA and America, where there's an exodus. A lot of people were looking to move out. Neighborhoods were starting to become less pleasant. There were riots. There were a lot of situations that just made it unpleasant. And those people wanted to, again, diversify or to move away from this ugly situation that they were found themselves in. At the same time, down in Mexico, the federal government continued investing into a large infrastructure program in our region of Mexico, Quintana Roo, and it was called the Tren Maya, the Mayan train. And this is a new project that connects the Cancun International Airport to Playa del Carmen, going south, Playa del Carmen, Tulum, and even all the way to the southern part of the state of Quintana Roo, Bacalar. And from there, the train would also connect the Chichen Itza back into the Mayan jungles, back to the Chichen Itza, and even all the way to the neighboring state of Yucatan, to Merida, and where all the famous haciendas are located in Yucatan. And then it made a round circle going to the other neighboring state called Campeche, and right to the capital being Campeche. So that is a beautiful zone. So this big investment from the federal government continued as they made this investment, and they were studying that the returns were going to be positive for not just 5 years, but 10 years, 15, and even 20 years. So this created a very interesting situation with the continued investment from the federal government, and also from the successes of Airbnb, VRBO. These are website platforms where individual property owners can very efficiently market their house or their condo room or their studio, very efficiently get that marketed out into the entire rental marketplace, and they were doing a lot of success on this. So if you're looking or you're interested to study the region of Quintana Roo, I highly recommend to continue looking at this, given those three factors, that being the high demand in investments from other real estate investors. They continue investing their money to the region. The second one, given the rental demand that is continuing down in the region, be it the COVID, being able to work remotely. These are important factors that continue spurring and jolting the real estate prices to continue in record numbers in 2020 and 2021. And finally, that the federal government also has a lot of bullish confidence in the region, so that they're investing multi-million-dollar investments into the region for long-term investments. These are three incredible reasons that this makes Quintana Roo stand out from international pockets for real estate investments. I'm Thomas Lloyd. This is Top Mexico Real Estate. We make it happen. Hasta luego.